There are several cultural myths about climate change in Nigeria that has persisted for generations despite scientific evidence. Some of these cultural myths include climate change is a punishment from the gods. Climate change is caused by witchcraft. People insisting climate change is not real despite overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary. What ideas do Nigerians have about climate change?
I think climate change is just how the climate or the weather is changing in general, but in an extreme kind of way.
I know that in Igbo land sometimes when it doesn't rain, it hinders you to go and harvest your crops or to even plant for the new harvest season. So we have to appease the gods,
In my own understanding, climate change simply refers to the shift in temperature or
it's the average weather condition of over 30 years.
From the climate, the weather will change from one particular weather, from rain to sun, from sun to rain is dropping and the sun is still shining at the same time. That he said that lion has given birth to a cub.
The climate has really changed for the worst because everywhere is just getting hotter. And
15 years living in Benue State's Makurdi, North Central Nigeria, Miss Idarabong Joy, a student of Benue State University, shares experience about weather changes in her environment.
I've seen the changes. I've seen many women's static. I've seen where we experience longer rain, shorter rains, harmattan, low harmattan, massive heat, flood. I've seen it all in Makurdi. 2018 to 2022, we'll be experiencing lesser rainfall. Let me use 2022 for a specific example. 2022, we didn't experience rainfall till early May, which is very rare and unheard of. Even now in 2023, the amount of times we're seeing rainfall this year is, I would say, 4 times. And now we're in May, we've still not experienced that kind of rainfall that we usually experience in Makurdi.
And on the impact of these changes,
since last year and this year, we'll be having lesser rainfalls, lesser harmattan, and just more heat. The weather is just getting hotter and it's even affecting crop production. It's affecting food production in Makurdi. The occupation for most people is farming, but the fact that we have lesser rainfall, crops, we don't get good yield of crops anymore.
According to the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, climate change refers to a long-term change in the Earth's atmosphere, ocean, and land. A Nigerian climate scientist and dynamic researcher in the built environment based in the country of Hong Kong, Ms. Mayowa Adegoriola, talks about climate change.
Climate change describes a change in the typical weather for a region, such as high and low temperatures and amount of rainfall over a long period of time, or a long-term shift in temperature and weather patterns that could be caused by natural or human activities. Climate change can manifest in many ways: heat waves, drought, wildfire, sea level rise, coastal flooding that has endangered communities and economies, changes in rainfall patterns causing floods, landslides, and crop failure. The effect of climate change is caused by human activities such as burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, deforestation, cutting down of trees, and agricultural activity, loss of biodiversity and natural habitat. For instance, dinosaurs are no longer existing because of the impact of climate change, threatening animals and plant species, decline in air and water quality affecting human health and ecosystem, increase in heat-related death and illnesses, especially among the vulnerable population, that's the old and the young population. Reduced food security and nutrition because crops and fisheries are affected by changing weather patterns and pests. Economic losses from infrastructural damage, property loss and disruption to supply chain and tourism.
Very interesting. Indeed, this event not only affects human population but also our planet's ecosystem, causing damage to the natural world around us, including plants, animals, and food security. So what can be done to mitigate the effects of climate change?
The most important thing to do to reduce the effect of climate change, to mitigate its effect, is to reduce greenhouse gas emission, usually carbon emission reduction. First, shifting to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal, thereby phasing out fossil fuels. Secondly, investing in energy efficiency such as insulation, energy efficient appliances, and transportation. Then also promoting sustainability sustainable land use, and forest conservation, which can absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Improving public transportation and active mobility, such as encouraging walking and cycling to work, especially by active population, can reduce the need for car usage and congestion, thereby reducing the carbon emission in the environment.
Dr. Mayowa further emphasizes that climate change is indeed real, as citizens need to take caution and action to lessen the effect of climate change, to reduce our carbon footprint, advocate for change at the government level, and support initiatives that promote sustainable future.
The collective responsibility of everyone to work towards to reduce the impact of climate change through our everyday choice. We need to promote awareness on change in energy consumption habits. For instance, the natural day lighting, instead of just putting on the electric bulb, using ventilation, natural ventilation as much as possible. Really reduce the limit of using air conditioning or fan. Open your windows. So through this, we are going to reduce energy consumption and carbon emission. Also, planting flowers and trees in our surroundings, in our houses, can also help to absorb carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and help to reduce carbon emission. Using simple and clear language and visuals to explain the causes of climate change to the grassroots is very important.
This story is supported by the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID. I am Udo Enobong Mak for Kissfm News.